Look, the biggest podcast where you can learn them lessons. Line for line where you can learn from different sections. Made it out the mud, come tell your story, blessings. Never know who listening, never know who stressing. Divine gave you a voice, come speak your honest truth. Line for line, go bar for bar, it's up to you. Wanna talk sports, gov, and politics? Wanna talk about where you from and your accomplishments? The Line for Line is really where you need to be. A platform that's really made for folks like you and me. You can find it all no matter what you seek. Whether you calling or you listening, tune in every week.
All right. Just like that, we're back in another very special episode of Line for Line podcast. I'm your host with the most, Devon Booker. We have a very special guest in the building today. We got Mr. Gio Jimenez in the building. Gio, how you feeling?
What's going on? Feeling good, bro. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, the most cliche thing we do when we start Line for Line podcast, we have the guests just tell the world just a little bit about themselves, basically introduce themselves to the world, tell them your profession, things of that nature. The floor is now yours.
For sure. All right. So yeah, like you said, my name is Gio. Giovanni, but everybody calls me Gio. Really, man, I couldn't really say like what my profession is, but I can say what my passion is. You know, my passion is training, something that I've picked up since last October is when I really like took my first step out onto the floating floor at Burn Boot Camp. Other than that, you know, I'm a family man, 3 kids, my wife. I got another job that I work at SC Johnson, and that's like, you know, my main thing. But I wanted to take another step into something that like I really love and find passion with, and that was training. And so that's about me, man. I became a gym junkie, a gym rat, we know, whatever it is you call it. I'm at work working out. I'm at home working out. I built a little home basement gym. Anytime I can get a workout in, bro, that's like what I'm at now. So that's a little bit about me, just a little gym junkie.
Of course. Now, can you just share us your personal journey when it comes to weight loss and overall transformation when it comes to working out?
Yeah, for sure. So like the biggest thing, man, I can say, bro, my whole life, man, I was a chubby kid, big kid. You know, all my guys playing with, you know, what up, Gio, what up, big man. So it was something that I always like hated though, but you know, I just like rocked it, you know, whatever. I'm Big Gio, that's me. Mm-hmm. That's even my Instagram name, because like that's just what everybody knew me as, like the big boy. I was a big boy, and I never really like had much thought of you know, like fitness or working out, none of that. That wasn't really something in my family life, like growing up. Mm-hmm. You know, that wasn't anything that was like ever on the table or even talked about fitness. But once I got into like high school, I was in foster care, and I had lived up north for a little bit, and that like being up there with everybody, you know, they loved basketball, you know, and them country boys loved basketball. We were at the park all day just playing, and that really got me into like, you know, being active, and then I fell in love with basketball. Then I started joining sports up there when I was up north, and it was super cool, man. You know, it really like it got me into a little bit better shape. You know, I started to slim down in high school and everything, and then got out of high school and just kind of like, well, even towards like my senior year, I moved back home. Once I got out of foster care, moved back home, and I kind of just like fucked everything off. I was just like, man, you know, it's whatever. I don't care. I'm back home. This is all I care about. I'm happy kicking it with my guys, chilling, you know, doing this and that. And next thing I know, you know, I'm out of shape. I'm like 300 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I just stopped working out completely. You know, that wasn't even on my mind. And then I started having my family, you know, my kids and everything, and stuff started like really happening. You know, life got a little more real. I wasn't a kid no more. Mm-hmm. You know, I got people to look after, people to take care of, and I got to be there, you know, the longevity of it. I got to be in there, you know, to the long run. You know, my kids are going to need me forever. And that's when I was like, man, something's got to change, you know. Something's got to really change. I was just sitting at the crib because at my job, we get 2 weeks off for every Christmas, and like that Christmas break around there. So I was at the crib chilling, shirt off, and I just looked at myself like, man, I gotta do something, bro. I don't even feel like I look good in my own skin. I don't feel good. I feel like I can't do anything for my family if they needed me to like pick them up and get up out the house and run if, you know, something were to happen, you know. So that right there was like my real big motivation, and like what almost just flipped the switch, because I really hopped on that like new year, new me. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it, bro. I'm not gonna. I've tried plenty of times before, like when I had my first son. So it's probably like when I was having my third child, so my second daughter, I was like, that's when I like really like had to flip that switch in my mind, because I tried a few times before that, and it just like I would go for a week and then it wouldn't stick, and I was like, man, that's that, bro.
It's hard.
I'm done.
It's
Yeah,
hard.
it is, bro.
It's hard. Yeah, pick your heart. I get it.
Yeah, bro. So So, eventually it kind of like clicked, that mindset changed, and just building that consistency going day in, day out, even the days I didn't want to, what. I started just lifting at work. Luckily I got a gym there and that we could take on break, that we can go and work out on break. So, I'm in there, bro. I got no idea what I'm doing. I'm YouTube videos trying to all right, how do I do a rear delt fly? What's the right way for a bicep curl? All that kind of stuff. And just learning it, really fell in love with it. Like the movements behind it, how certain you twist your wrist this way, you're gonna hit this muscle. Like, it's just so cool to me. So like, not only was I like changing myself, I was learning along the ways, and learning all that kind of stuff like really made me like look at fitness in a whole different aspect of it. Like, oh, this is a science, man. This isn't just get in there. I mean, it is, get in there and do what you got to do, and you're gonna see a change along with other factors that play into it. But it really helped me like just open my mind to fitness and like really want to dive into it. Like, okay, man, I can really make a change if I really know what I'm doing and I'm sticking with it.
How important would you say mindset is when it comes to reaching your goals in the fitness world?
Oh, I say mindset's everything, bro. Mindset is everything. You can mindset and heart. I put those two like hand in hand together, man. If you got the mindset of like, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna do this no matter what, you're gonna be able to push yourself a lot further than your body wants to some days. And then that heart comes in too. When you're in the middle of it and you're done, your body's like, man, I can't push no more. But that heart, you got it in there, and you're like, man, I know I can push. I got a fire inside me, man. I got something that I'm fighting for, that I'm trying to get better for. Those things go, hand in hand. But that mindset is huge, bro. If you don't got the right mindset going into it, if you're thinking about it as, man, I can't stand this workout, man. I hate these workouts. I hate working out, but I got to do it. It's going to make it that much harder to stay consistent, because you're already coming in negative on it. Mm-hmm. You're already thinking like, man, I don't want to do this. And the hardest thing is to get to doing it. So when you come into anything thinking like, I don't want to do this, you're not going to give it your all. You're not going to give it that 100. You got to have that mindset of like, let's do this, man. Like, I'm ready to go.
Of course. What goals would you say you're working on your own still when it comes to your personal goals and your personal gym journey?
Oh, that's awesome, bro. I'm glad you asked that, bro. Because right now, man, I'm super ecstatic. Burn Boot Camp, we got these things for the trainers called athlete games. Mm-hmm. And athlete games is like all the trainers go against each other in these regionals. So I think that's in August, I believe so. And this will be my first year ever going in for it. Like I said, I just started training in October at Burn Boot Camp. But like watching some of the other trainers like Ian out in Mount Pleasant, that was like huge motivation, bro. Like, man, bro, you're out there, you're killing it with these dudes, bro. And like, I want to go out there and kill it too. I want to push. I'm in camp every day. I want to work for something too. I want, seeing him going out there and just, rallying behind him and like really seeing like him putting on for Mount Pleasant. I was like, man, that's dope, man. That's something that I want to do for Keno. I want to put on for us. We also have Max, who had won it, mm-hmm. won athlete games for Keno. So that's a cool thing too, man. So it's like there's big shoes over there in like Mount Pleasant and Keno to like try to like, if you want to run with them boys, you got to push. So that's like my biggest thing right now is I want to just go into regionals and give it everything I got, bro. I've been training harder, lifting heavier, pushing on these cardio days to like just keep going. I'm getting extra trainings in, like on Sundays. I'm doing yoga, where that was just like my rest day. Now I'm running games, workouts, doing everything I can to try to get ready for it, bro. So that's my biggest goal right now, just get in the best shape that I can in time for August to just be able to give it my everything when I'm out there.
Now, how would you say you celebrate progress outside of just being a number on the scale?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I guess I never really took the time to like just celebrate my progress. Mm-hmm. I always remember my progress though. I remember where I started and I appreciate where I'm at now. Like when I first started lifting, I couldn't shoulder press a 40-pound dumbbell over my head,
Nuh-uh.
And I promise you, bro, I think I got video on my phone of me like struggling to get it over. So like I couldn't do it. But I never really celebrated the progress that I've made. I just kind of like look at it like, man, dude, I did it, that's it. I did that. But one thing that I do, I guess I kind of like lean towards is like when people tell me, like when people haven't seen me in a while, they're like, damn, man, you're looking good, Gio, bro. You've been killing it. I'm like, yeah, bro, I've been in the gym every day. I've just been doing it. So I guess like that kind of way, like that gives me like a little boost. A way that I kind of celebrate myself right there. Just when people tell me it, like, hey man, you're looking good, or you're killing it out here and doing what you're doing. Yeah, I think that's about that, bro. I don't think I really celebrate it too much, but I'm just happy with it. I'm just happy with the grind.
Of course. Now, if you could offer one piece of advice to anyone out there that wants to transform their life, what piece of advice would you give?
Find somebody who's in your corner. Find somebody who's in your corner, and I promise you got somebody that's in your corner. Whether you know it or not, there's that one person that's gonna like push you, tell you to go on the days you don't want to, though, hold you accountable, man. For me, that was my wife. She really helped me like push and really do it. She told me, "You got this. You can do it. You can do it. Just keep going. You keep going." Like, so like that right there, I felt like just having that not cheerleader, but person in my corner. My wife is my biggest supporter. I say my cheerleader. I'm her cheerleader. I'm pushing for her when she's in the gym too, killing it. But I think that's like probably one of the biggest things is like having a good support system, somebody that's gonna help push you, somebody that wants to see you win, because there's a lot of times where like people get like envious almost, or they're like they don't think of the grind you put in to get to where you're at. They only see the finish, like, and maybe not even the finished product. Maybe that's not where you want to be, but they only see like where you're at now. Like some people see me now and think I've always been fit, think I always can lift weights, or that I've always been strong. Like, no, man, this only happened over a few years. I just had to stay consistent to it. So like in that time, like people might be like, "Oh, dude's just a cocky dude, man." No, I just feel a lot better about myself. I'm a little bit more confident for sure because I put in the work, I put in the grind. You didn't see where I was when I was lower. Now I'm here, and you think like, "Ah, man, dude, again another gym dude, man, just big in his head or something." Like, "Oh, bro, I got a heart too, man. I feel compassion for people and everything." But you gotta be happy with yourself when you put in that work, bro. That's how I look at it a little bit.
Of course. Now, can you share with us a time where you saw one of your clients' transformation just impress you and put you in awe?
Yeah. Like one thing is like the moms, or the moms that are like pregnant in camp, and like you see them like all the way up to like their due date almost, bro, and they're in there like just working, pushing to the same pace, killing it out there, and then they come back and like you see like over those weeks and stuff, their progression of like first they come in they're a little bit slower, not really slower, but like they got to get back into they just had a baby. So like that's crazy work to just come right back into the gym and like get ready to go as soon as they can. So I say, excuse me, bro, my fault. I say like any of the moms that I've seen that come in there and like right after having their kids and just like ready to go, I'm like, damn, man, like that's a beast right there.
Of course,
that's a beast.
And just like noticing someone's change, that can go a long way for them,
Yeah.
And just words of encouragement as well too. Because I remember actually there was a time, it might have been upper body day, whatever the case may be, and I was only doing maybe 10 to 15 pull-ups at the time. Like now I can do a little bit more, but I'm sitting there cricking them out, and I remember you come up to me like, "Bro, you in here getting after it, you doing crazy work," and I was like, dang, if I'm sitting here in my own head like, damn, I feel like I could be doing more, but then you got eyes on you, people seeing what you're doing, and they're giving you that little bit of pep talk. It's like, see, maybe I'm not doing too bad. Maybe I could be doing a little bit more.
You start to forget like the accomplishments you're making right now, man. You start to like almost diminish what you're doing because you start to compare yourself to somebody else, and then you're like, man, bro, I'm not there though. I need to do that. But you got to celebrate them little wins, bro. You got to celebrate everywhere you're at. Be in love with the grind. Be in love from where you started to where you're at now, and it'll go a long way, bro. Yeah, bro. I remember that, bro. You was killing it, bro.
For real. And that's all it takes, bro. Just that one little spark, But I don't want to talk too much about me. This is all about you, young man. When it comes to legacy and training over at Burn Boot Camp, what would you say is the legacy that you hope that you're implementing into the program over there now?
For sure, man. Just that community. I hope that like whenever, because I plan to be at Burn for as long as I'm alive or whatever it is, whatever the case may be. I told Max and all them, man, as long as you guys want me here, I'm here, bro. I'm here in it for the long run. So I want, eventually for, the members, for the team, everybody to be like, man, Gio gave it to us day in, day out. Every time he was here and stepped on that floor, he gave us everything he had. When he was out here taking camp, he gave it everything he had. I just want, I guess, the legacy to be like, just leave it all out there, man. And that's what Gio did. He gave us everything.
Of course, as we get ready to close out this phenomenal episode, when it comes to Burn and the members over there, obviously, when it comes to working out, sometimes we hit a plateau or we struggle to stay motivated. What piece of advice would you give to those people out there who feel like they're in their plateau or not as motivated?
Yeah, for sure. Something for me was like that really helped me get over my plateau, because when I first started my little fitness journey, bro, I was only lifting. So, you start to see some changes, you start to see some things happening, and then you kind of feel like, man, that plateau you talked about, I'm not really making no more progress, or I can't break this number right here. Like, what's the next thing I got to do? It's going to be nutrition, man. Nutrition, you got to lock in on nutrition. And sometimes it's like, it's like everybody wants to, like, break it down to you can have this much fats, this, that, all the crazy macro, micro numbers and everything. But what I really loved about Burn is, man, they just simplified it. 100 grams of protein, 100 ounces of water. Get that bare minimum right there, and that's going to help fuel your body. So once I started, like, really doing that, being more cognizant of my protein, my ounces of water I'm drinking a day, my recovery, then all those little factors really help, like, get me over that little hump. But now I started seeing, like, a rise again. I'm like, oh man, dude, I'm killing it. I'm getting a little bit faster. My gas tank's getting a little bit bigger. So just like all the little things you got to dial in on, man. Or sometimes it's as simple as you can't break a number. Start throwing something extra in there, man. Go for like walks. Yoga. I've heard hot yoga, bro. I seen you had did a thing over there.
Yeah.
And bro, that looks crazy. Like, that looks like you're just like sweating.
No, for sure.
And the trainer Stephanie at Burn, she told me too. She just did real hot yoga this morning actually, and like how like crazy it is. You're just like sweating. So I'm like, damn, man. If you're just throwing something extra here and there, man, go for a walk every morning or something. Throw it in there with that routine. Try not to get too complacent. When you get too complacent, also our bodies are going to start to feel like, all right, I'm just in this groove now. You're picking up the same 10-pound dumbbells or the same 20-pound, 30-pound ones. There was a point where I got to as well where, like, I'm at Burn and I start to kind of feel like, oh, I'm not doing anything more, but it's on me. Mm-hmm. I got to push myself. I got to get out that comfort zone, bro. I got to grab that heavier dumbbell and struggle. I got to fight for those reps, because I could do 10 reps of a 30, but let me do 10 reps of a 40. Let me fight on those last few, Let me really get those gains. So that's where it is, man. Sometimes dial in on those little things. Push yourself a little bit more out that comfort zone that you got yourself into. You're like, oh, I'm lifting. I could do these all day. Well, do something you can't do all day, lift a little bit heavier right there. So just those little things right there.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here first on Line for Line Podcast. I'm your host with the most, Devon Booker. That has been Gio Jimenez. Gio, thank you for giving us some time.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, bro.
You calling or you listening, tune in every week. Line for line. Oh yeah, I'm going line for line.